I want to get immediately to President Obama. I'm going to say he's doing what he does best, that is, criticizing his political opponents. Listen to this.
By the way, the same thing is true on foreign policy. I don't want to keep on going, but have you noticed that every one of these candidates say, Obama's weak. Putin's kicking sand in his face. When I talk to Putin, he's going to straighten out. Just looking at him, he's going to be. And then it turns out they can't handle a bunch of CNBC moderators. If you can't handle those guys, then I don't think the Chinese and the Russians are going to be too worried about you.
Well, Kat Timpf is here. Now, what does Kat Timpf make of what she just saw and what you just saw? Go.
Yeah, what is he talking about? Yeah. How could they not handle the moderators? They shut down the moderators during the debates, made the moderators look ridiculous, and now they're demanding better treatment. That's called being strong. That's called standing up for yourself. And Obama knows nothing about either of those things when it comes to leading the country. So I'm not surprised maybe he couldn't really recognize that for what it was.
Well, what was that bit about, wait till Putin, when I talk to Putin, and the wagging?
Well, that's what he says the Republicans are saying. They're saying, look, whoever it be, when I talk to Putin, he's going to know where we are. We're going to be strong. He said, well, that's funny coming from the group that couldn't handle the CNBC
Was he
moderators.
mocking Trump in some way? Is that what he's trying to do?
I think mocking the GOP in general.
Saying that clearly he's the strongest leader ever to exist.
Okay, well, he did say the candidates, can't even handle a bunch of CNBC moderators. Yeah. But in fact, I think the candidates handle the moderators pretty well. In fact, just watch this for a second. All over again, watch it again.
The questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media. This is not a cage match. And you look at the questions. Donald Trump, are you a comic book villain? Ben Carson, can you do math? John Kasich, will you insult two people over here? Marco Rubio, why don't you resign? Jeb Bush, why have your numbers fallen? How about talking about the substantive issues people care about?
Democrats have the ultimate super PAC. It's called the mainstream media. She spent over a week telling the families of those victims and the American people that it was because of a video. And yet the mainstream media is going around saying it was the greatest week in Hillary Clinton's campaign. It was the week she got exposed as a liar.
Very good people are making very bad decisions right now. And if anything comes out of this whole thing with some of these nasty and ridiculous questions.
Well, the president said the candidates, couldn't even handle a bunch of CNBC moderators.
That's what the kids would call crushing it.
Yes.
They crushed it. They totally did. That was handling it very strongly. I don't know. Maybe he didn't watch.
Oh, I bet you he did. Yeah. Very political guy. Now, the latest Wall Street Journal poll. It shows Ben Carson now ahead of Donald Trump. This is a national poll. Carson, 29%. Trump, 23%. Rubio, 11%. Cruz, 10%. Jeb Bush, 8%. Nobody else above 3%. Now, here's what Donald Trump had to say about that poll this morning on Fox and Friends.
Ben can't do the job. I mean, there's no question about it. He can't do the job. He's not going to be able to negotiate with China. It's not his thing. He doesn't do that because it's not his thing. It's not in his wheelhouse. He's never done it before, and I don't think it's, meant for him. These are people, they come at you, they're fierce. You know some of the deals I've made with China. I've made great deals with China.
Okay, China. Okay, well, China. He has a sort of way of saying it.
He does.
But he's bashing Ben Carson in a nice way, actually, saying he can handle it.
Well, yeah, nice, I guess. He didn't say anything about his face or his appearance. Well, I'm a little surprised Ben Carson's ahead, but I think Ben Carson is kind of surprised that Ben Carson's ahead. He's just kind of very relaxed. He's very relaxed. Yeah. He has the same strength of what people see as a strength as just saying what's on his mind without worrying about it. But with him, it seems more like he's actually just calmly saying what's on his mind. People have a problem, he explains it. With Trump, it's like, I'm going to say this thing. Yeah, I said it. I said it. You heard me. I said it. and it seems almost theatrical.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that the survey takers said about this was there's no doubt that Carson has broad support. The bigger question is how deep and committed is that support?
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what we'll find out.
That there's still two outsiders still away from it.
The Carson people are like, yeah, I like that guy. The Trump people are like, you say anything and I'm going to threaten your life. So, seriously, have you been on the internet lately? Have you been on the internet lately? Don't say anything mean about Trump if you don't want your life threatened by some little Twitter person with, like, no little picture.
All right, Kat Timpf does an impersonation of Donald Trump and does it rather well. Thanks very much. Don't